All right, guys. It is April 25th, 2025, year of our Lord. As far as news goes, from what I'm hearing, there is rumors of military having to take charge of things here soon to get certain things done, because Trump's not going to be able to handle certain situations. So they're expecting some pretty shady things happening here soon, like riots and stuff like that. So I think they're preparing for that and getting ready for a martial law style effect. I can be totally wrong, but that's the way I'm reading the room. But like I said, I may be wrong. I don't know if I am or not. But as far as news goes, that's about the best I can tell you. Some people are predicting by next week, gold and silver, gold being roughly about $4,000 an ounce. So something may be happening over the weekend. I don't know. I know our dollar bill is imploding right now. So I don't know how much longer they can hold the banks and everything up. So the system is starting to crash. We're fixing to start feeling that. So be prepared. Get your hands on some silver. Doesn't have to be like $2,000 worth of silver. Just get your hands on some. And go from there. So we'll have to go through, and either way, God has this. So I'm not threatened. I'm not freaking out about anything. Yes, it's important. Yes, it's going to get scary. But everything happens for a reason. So the only other part of the news I can tell you is there is talks that on the Pope. There's been talks that they have found some markings on the Pope that are not Christian markings. And apparently he was in a mental state, saying demons were trying to drag him down to hell. So I don't know. I wasn't around. I can't. I'm just telling you what some of the articles have said, and what there's been a few news reports about it, and that's all I can tell you. Just look it up. A lot of people are talking about that right now. So there's some interesting things happening from that. And people are saying that was the last ordeal. Something major and significant is coming. Probably next week. I don't know. That is prophets talking. They're not saying specifics. So, I don't know. So with all that being said, I'm going to say this. Whether it happens or not, don't lose your faith over it. It's annoying when people make predictions. It is very annoying because a lot of times they're not correct. Occasionally they get something right and then they think they, are gifted when they're making guesses. They need to start listening to God, and that'd be correct a little bit more, in my opinion. But fairness to be fairness, they do get them right most of the time. They're just off by a year or something. Am I putting prophets down? No. I think they're misunderstanding the information they are given. And a lot of them will pretend that it's this year when it's next year, things like that. Now, this is the year of the Lord. Things have started happening that only God could have put in place. A lot of people don't like it, but there is changing coming that is needed. So everything that's being put in place is going to be there for a reason. And a lot of the things that you may think is horrible is there to actually help. It's actually there to help. So try not to judge too much, but God will carry us through. We'll get there. Not everything everybody does we agree with. So understand that things are having to be done right now for a reason. So now on the spiritual side of things. Last night we were talking about, I listened to a song. It's called "Take Me to Church." And when I read the title, I thought it would be a Christian song. It was not. My wife read some of the lyrics, and she immediately shut the page down. No, she wasn't too happy with it. If you can't find God in the song, and I'm not talking about the word Jesus Christ, I'm not talking about the gates of heaven, I'm not talking about a church, I'm not talking about any of it. If you cannot find God in a song, spiritually, you probably shouldn't listen to it. I grew up listening to AC/DC, Metallica, Bon Jovi, Iron Maiden, Queen. I mean, you name it, pretty much I listened to it. Some of those songs I should not have been listening to. Matter of fact, most of them. And my wife's not going to like me for this, but a lot of the rock and roll, especially from like AC/DC and a few of these other guys, was not good music. But yeah, some of those guys, I would say, sold their soul to be famous. So that's what I would say. Is every rock song satanic? No. But if you're hearing songs about demons and devils and about selling your soul, I would say that's probably not the best thing in the world to listen to. I'm going to have to make an exception to that rule. Charlie Daniels, Devil Went Down to Georgia. That's a good one. A lot of people say that is a very horrible song, but it's not really a horrible song. But I can understand where people would say it is. If you haven't heard it, get on YouTube, look up the original Charlie Daniels, Devil Went Down to Georgia, listen to it, and you tell me. Would I sing that in church? Probably not. Just like I would not sing, what is that song? What is it? Don't Take the Girl by Tim McGraw. That is a very heart-wrenching, soulful song. Talking about life and death. But is it a Christian song? No, it's not. But is it good to listen to? Sometimes. Sometimes you just want to listen to something that makes you cry. Some people do that. That's one that you can do that with. Excuse me. Like right now, I have stuff on my phone that's probably not the best music to listen to as far as Christianity goes. but it's songs that we grew up with that it's kind of hard to get out of your head. Now, am I saying this is a sin? No. I'm just saying you need to find stuff that will help you get you closer to God and stay away from the stuff that pulls you away from Him. It's almost like listening to music with your actual dad and your dad saying, "What's this crap? Why are they singing about the devil?" And then when you say, "Well, that's not what they said," he's like, "Rewind it. Go back. Play that little space there. Yep, they were." So, when you can call stuff like that out, I would say you probably shouldn't listen to it. Now there are some songs I probably shouldn't listen to, but hold meaning because maybe a dying friend, we used to listen to it all the time. I mean, it's a memory. So, how can that be a sin, in my opinion? But I'm not judging. I'm not the judge, jury of God. So, I can't tell you what's sinful and what's not. And the reason I can't tell you that is three really good reasons. One, I'm not God. I'm not going to tell you what's sinful and what's not when I can't determine that myself. And three, we can go through the Bible and read what's sinful and what's not, but at the same time, how much more is there out there that's sinful? But here's something that God said that He would never do: judge you for something you didn't know was bad. If you're saying something and you, honest to God, think this is the way it is, that it's okay to do this because your Christian family told you it's okay, how do you know any better? God can't hold you accountable for what you do not know. So that's something that a lot of people forget when they're preaching about God. This is the reason why children can't be held accountable for their actions and their behavior. They have to be taught how to behave. If the parents don't teach them how to behave, they don't learn how to behave. When they get older, they're probably going to learn pretty quick how to behave. Especially the first, second, third time they get thrown in jail. Or somebody lays them out. So, when you're listening to music, is it something you'd listen to with God and be proud of what you're listening to with Him? That is what I would say would be good music to listen to. A lot of people don't like the old music. The old music was actually very soulful and very they strived towards God. The back in the day, in the 60s and 70s, even in the 50s, it wasn't like it is today. They were actually singing about God most of the time. Yes, there's a lot of songs out there that has nothing to do with God, but God is the focus of those people's lives, so therefore they sang about it. And even though they may not have put God in everything, God was present for everything. So, and they knew better than to sing something that went against God. And that's something that we've gotten away from. I don't know why that stuck with me so much, but what we listen to also influence the way we behave. And if you're not prepared for what you're listening to, it's easy to fall into a trend and say this is good when it's not really good. So really sit back and listen to some of the music you listen to. The guy that sings Message in a Bottle and there's another song or two that he sings that's like Message in a Bottle. The Horse with No Name or something like that. He also sings a song called Fare Thee Well. It's a very good song. Is it paying homage to God? A little bit, but it's not about God. So stop and listen to what you're listening to and understand that sometimes some things you really shouldn't be listening to, because that's how our minds get messed up. All right, guys. You guys have a good weekend. Be safe. Remember, God loves you. God bless you. And remember to pray.